I never thought my quiet retirement dream would turn into a neighborhood battlefield. My wife and I had spent years saving for our motorhome. Our RV wasn't just a vehicle, it was freedom on wheels. We wanted to see the mountains, the coastline, visit grandkids without booking hotels. But when we parked it neatly in our driveway, the HOA board pounced like hawks. Their first letter wasn't a request. It was a demand: remove it, or face fines. Backhand index pointing right. If you enjoy stories where fairness wins in the end, make sure to subscribe. You won't want to miss the victories that come after the battles. Life in our community had always been respectful. We kept our garden tidy, lent tools to neighbors, and hosted barbecues on summer evenings. I believed in living with dignity, respecting rules that made sense, and helping others when they needed a hand. That's why the HOA's sudden hostility felt like a personal attack. The first notice was coldly worded: recreational vehicles are not permitted to be stored within view. Immediate removal required. I shrugged it off, thinking it was a misunderstanding. Our RV was clean, well-maintained, and didn't block anyone's view. But a week later, a second notice arrived. This one included a $150 fine. I walked into the next HOA meeting, letter in hand. "Excuse me," I said, keeping my voice calm, "why exactly is my RV such a problem?" "It's on my property." Karen, the HOA president, folded her arms. "It's unsightly. It lowers property values," she declared. "That's nonsense," I replied. "It's no different than a second car. My neighbors don't mind." One of the board members smirked. "Rules are rules. Pay the fine, or it doubles next week." The room felt colder than winter. My wife squeezed my hand, whispering, "Don't let them get under your skin." I decided to fight politely at first. I collected signatures from neighbors, 12 of them, stating the RV didn't bother them. I submitted the petition to the board. Their response? Another fine, this time $300, and a warning that they could place a lien on my home if I continued violations. Each envelope they sent landed like a brick on my chest. I couldn't sleep. I paced the house, asking myself why a group of people thought they could bully me out of my own rights. One evening, I overheard my granddaughter say to her mom on the phone, "Grandpa's sad all the time now." That broke me. I realized this wasn't just about an RV. It was about dignity, mine, and my family's. The conflict escalated. A notice arrived threatening legal action. They claimed the HOA had authority to tow the RV at my expense. That night, my wife found me sitting outside, staring at the motorhome under the porch light. "They can't win every fight," she said softly. I turned to her. "Maybe not. But they won't win this one." That was my turning point. I knew I had to act, not with shouting, not with endless letters, but with something that would end the fight once and for all. I started researching county property records late into the night. Something caught my eye: the empty lot right next door had recently gone up for sale. It was small, mostly grass, but it was outside HOA control, technically county-owned land, not part of the community association. I felt a spark of hope. "Are you really thinking what I think you're thinking?" my wife asked when I showed her the listing. "Exactly," I said, grinning for the first time in weeks. "If they won't let me park on my own driveway, I'll buy the lot next door and park it there." The idea was bold, maybe even a little reckless. But it was legal. And best of all, it would show the HOA that their reach had limits. I moved quickly. The lot was modestly priced, about the same as a used pickup truck. I contacted the county office, confirmed it wasn't under HOA jurisdiction, and within a month, the deed had my name on it. When the papers came through, I felt lighter than I had in months. My wife hugged me, laughing. "You really did it." "Not just for us," I replied. "For everyone they've pushed around." The very next weekend, I drove the RV from my driveway onto the fresh lot next door. I leveled it, planted a small wooden sign in front that read, "Private property, authorized parking." That evening, Karen stormed over. "What do you think you're doing?" she barked, pointing at the RV. "Parking legally, I said calmly. This land doesn't belong to the HOA. Check the county records if you don't believe me. Her face reddened. You're undermining the community rules. No, I said, meeting her glare. I'm reminding you they don't extend beyond their borders. Word spread fast. Neighbors who'd been silent before started dropping by to shake my hand. One man whispered, I wish I'd thought of that when they came after my shed. Another neighbor brought over cookies, saying, finally someone stood up to them. The HOA sent me another letter anyway, threatening further action. But this time, I was ready. I mailed back a copy of my deed, highlighted with county seals. I added a note, respectfully, this land is not under your authority. Any further harassment will be forwarded to my attorney. Silence followed. Weeks passed, and the fine stopped. The threats stopped. The board didn't mention my RV again. But the story didn't end there. At the next community meeting, several neighbors confronted the board about their heavy-handed tactics. One elderly couple stood up and said, if he can't have his RV, why do we have boats and trailers and garages? This is hypocrisy. The room filled with murmurs of agreement. Karen tried to regain control. This is about maintaining standards. No, I interrupted. It's about respecting people. Standards mean nothing without fairness. Applause broke out. For the first time, I felt the community siding with dignity over fear. The climax came a month later when 2 board members resigned, citing differences of philosophy. Karen remained, but her authority was weakened. She avoided eye contact when passing me on the street. Every time I saw my RV shining proudly next door, I felt more than satisfied. I felt justice. One evening, sitting by the campfire with my wife and grandchildren, my grandson asked, Grandpa, did you win? I smiled at him. Winning doesn't always mean beating someone. Sometimes it means standing up for what's right and not letting bullies push you around. That became the moral I carried. Communities thrive when fairness and respect lead, not fear and control. The HOA tried to ban my freedom, but instead, they taught me to fight with patience, dignity, and just a little bit of cleverness.